Hey guys, alright, so I'm driving somewhere, I've got my camera, I thought I'd answer a viewer or a member question from Danny. And Danny wants to know, he's taking creatine monohydrate and he's also taking glutamine. He takes 5 grams of each pre-workout and 5 grams post-workout. He wanted to know if this was a good idea and if this was the proper time and place to basically take it. Alright, here's the deal, and this is what I would recommend Danny. First off, with the glutamine, I would actually not take it pre-workout. I would take 5 grams after you work out with your post-workout meal or shake, and then I would take 5 additional grams before you go to bed. The reason is because you basically want it after your muscle is already broken down to get in there and do its job. When you're sleeping, that's when your body is resting. And when you're resting, that is when your body is doing its rebuilding. You don't rest or you don't recover when you're up walking around. You recover when you're resting. That's why sleep is so vital to your progress. So, glutamine after your workout and before you go to bed. And as for creatine, I would probably take either all 10 grams pre-workout or do 5 grams pre-workout, 5 grams post-workout. What creatine does is it goes into your muscle and basically rehydrates it, and it makes you stronger and recover a little bit faster in the process. When you gain weight from creatine, typically it's water weight. Well, one of the things that people don't remember to do or don't realize to do is when you're taking creatine, you know how we talk about keeping your insulin level low and not spiking your insulin level? Well, when you take creatine, you want to spike your insulin level. And that, what in turn, basically draws the creatine monohydrate into your body and into the muscle cells. So, when you're taking your creatine, don't just dump the powder in water, dump it in your mouth and chase it with water. What I want you to do is actually take it with something that has a higher sugar content, like a Gatorade, a Powerade. You want to stay away from juices that have a lot of acidity, like grapefruit juice, orange juice, cranberry juice. You want to stay away from the acidity because apparently the acidity does something to the molecular structure of the creatine monohydrate. So, take your creatine before, take your creatine after if you want to, or you can take it all before. And actually, you know what? Break it up. Why not? It's always better to break things up and to take them in smaller doses. But your glutamine, make sure you're taking it after your workout and also before you go to bed. With your glutamine, you don't necessarily need that insulin or sugar spike that you do with the creatine. So you can just take that, dump it in your mouth, chase it with water, however you want to get it down. It is powdery and delicious. Not really. Hope that answers your question, Danny, and I hope that answers some of your questions as well.